You wonder when to use null versus undefined in JavaScript? I see this get asked a lot, and I wanted to share my thoughts about it and how I personally use them, at least one of them. So, first is first, what is null and what is undefined? So, let's start with undefined. So, if you go over to like the one standard source of truth for JavaScript info, which is the MDN docs, you see that undefined it's a global value, right? It's on the global scope. So what that means is that if you are running JavaScript on the browser, it's a global, it's a property on window, and on node it's a property on global. So let's see what that is pretty quickly. All right, so yeah, I just have this little script run. So you can check. So this is going to run on node. So the global property global, if we check the has own property undefined, if we run that, we get to see that it's true. And also in the browser, so if we do window.has own property undefined, you also see that also is true. So what does that mean? And what is undefined? So undefined, it's a primitive value that is going to be returned when, for example, a variable was defined, was declared without giving a value, hence undefined, right? And also, if a function does not have like a return value, it also returns undefined. Okay, so this is like the default value a variable or a function return would have if you don't specify any. Okay, so let's take a look at null. So again, on the MDN docs, you would find that null is the intentional absence of a value. Like null is a primitive value, of course, right? But when you specify null as a developer for like a variable, or you return null in a function, what you're doing is you're saying that this is intentional, right? So this variable is going to hold null at this time, and it's intentional, and you could actually do checks for that. So the way I see both is undefined. I never have to specify, like give a variable the value of undefined, because of course that's going to be taken care of, which is, so I see undefined as accidental, or you did not want to define or give a value. So it's not something I myself would have to type in my code base that, okay, set this value to undefined. I mostly use null for that, because if I'm setting null, it means that at this point this variable, it's null, right? It's going to hold a null value even if it can hold another value. So the way I see it with the whole conversation between null versus undefined is, you use null most of the time is what you would use when you are intentionally saying that this variable at this point does not have a value that is truthy. So one thing about null is that it's going to, it has a falsy value, which is good. So you could check, okay, if a variable is null, then you could actually say, okay, like do stuff with it. So it's really useful, and it's the one you would set as a JavaScript developer, in my opinion, and the one I've always used when there is an intentional absence of a value for a variable. So that's it. And by the way, do subscribe to this channel if you like this video, and YouTube is going to recommend other videos for you to watch somewhere on the screen. Please watch it, and yeah, thank you.